have been allowed to go back to work. That is fantastic. So, if you're in the market for a new floor, call on Bennett Flooring Installation, 616-318-0167. Mention my name. Go to their website, bennettflooringinstallation.com. You can see some of their work. Fantastic stuff. Meanwhile, Zaniac Jason, JM Synthetics, 616-747-0233, jmsynthetics.com. He brings you Deer Meathead. Awesome dude. Get your AMSoil products at JM Synthetics. And if you sign up to be a preferred customer, that's $20 a year. What that does is it opens up. Not everybody can buy all the stuff from AMSoil, okay? It's like Costco for DIY guys, for gearheads, if you will. You pay the $20, you get the other stuff. However, you get your money back. If you buy $100 worth of stuff the first time you go to his website, jmsynthetics.com, he's going to give you that $20 back. All right? That's how it works with JM Synthetics. Zaniac Jason, thank you so much for being on board with the Eric Zane Show Podcast. On your mark, get set, go!
And now, here's a guy who got tired of being fired by corporate radio. So he took up being fired by Patreon subscribers instead. It's the Eric Zane Show Podcast.
Thank you, Johnny. Hey, welcome to the Eric Zane Show Podcast. This is a daily expletive-filled rant covering news, nonsense, and my personal adventures. I hope things are going well for you here in West Michigan. It is another bright, beautiful, sunny day. I was just watching a news story about my former hometown of Midland, Michigan. I lived in Midland, I think about 1991, 1992 to like 98. A nice little town. About 40,000 people live there, and just, oh my God, major flooding because a bunch of old shitty dams collapsed. You got these couple of lakes a bit north of there, about 10 miles north, Wixom Lake, Sanford Lake, and they're all dammed up. And they had been saying to them, hey, these dams are shitty. They're going to break when we get one drop of rain. Sure enough, the dams broke. So that entire community is flooded like you wouldn't believe. I guess the president's going to go there. At least he's going to go to he's probably going to go to Michigan. You ever notice when the president goes to like a factory to see like I saw footage of the president at the Ford plant recently, and they were like showing him the ventilators that they're making. You ever notice he always has that same look like, yeah, okay, great. He gives him like a thumbs up, and it's almost like you're thinking, I don't even think he gives a shit. Well, apparently he's going to do that. So the word on the street is that he is supposed to show up, or at least say something about the folks in Midland, Michigan.
Just a rude person you are.
Shut up. Well, I went a long way to get that one. But so that's what's going on there. All right. Now I've got a lot of things to talk about. As always, I've got a guest who's going to join me a little later on. It is Allison from Harbor Humane. This is a terrific facility. A shelter, no-kill shelter for animals. And you know that I have my own shelter here. And she became a fan of the show. She signed up on Patreon, and she reached out to me. You know what they say, closed mouth is a hungry mouth. She's such an ass kicker. She approached me about being on the show. And I'm like, I'm always looking for new voices on the show. And first, it was kind of like we were planning on just having me talk about what they do at Harbor Humane for the animals. And I'm like, you should do it. Why don't you join me? And she's like, oh. And I'm like, give and take. I'll do this for you, but you got to do the heavy lifting. And then she stepped up. So that means she is going to join us today. So I'm really excited about that. She did give me a warning, though. She said, my cell service is kind of sketchy here. And I'm like, great. How is that even a thing now, where cell service can be an issue? All right, keep your fingers crossed on that. I've got a big project going on this weekend, man. Now, I'm headed up north because I can, because they said it's okay, so shut up, Joe. My gosh. Headed up north, basically just going to plop down in front of the fire and do some chores up at our place up north in Grayling, Michigan. But there is a project. Actually, two things that have to get done. Painting the inside of Fear Bunker North will begin. All right, so primer goes up. This oil-based primer. I got my mask so I don't get cancer while I'm doing it, and I'm going to start going down that road. And then the other thing is I'm installing. Whenever the word installing is used around me, it usually means it's going to get done poorly or I'm going to get injured. All right, so this is what's up. I am installing a over-the-air television antenna. I got this thing actually a while ago. This is very typical. I'll get a gift, and I'll just leave it in a box and not even touch it. And I finally opened it up and built it. It's a TV antenna, digital receiver, because nowadays, back in the old days, you had that big thing on your roof, and you turned the thing, and it goes, yeah. So you can get, like, Channel 7 in. And then you want to watch Channel 2, and you got to turn it again, Channel 2. This is a little bit like that, but they're a little bit more polished these days. Actually, a little more chintzy. But it got the TV stations, over-the-air TV is free. A lot of people forget about that. Over-the-air television is free. You can get all your local channels for free. So, and there's a lot of other offerings that are out there, too, that these other signals put out, sub-channels. So if you were to put up an over-the-air TV, like around here, you'd get about 20, 25 channels. Now, a lot of them are garbage, but you get the locals. That's all I want up there. So what this involves then is, first of all, building the antenna, which I did. It was easy. And now I got to put it up on like a pole. So the idea is, this is all my design, and that's another problem. Now, you tell me, you people that know how to do this stuff, if this is sound or not. Now, I don't care about how it looks. I want it to be functional. I've got 20 feet of 3/4-inch steel conduit. All right? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to have the antenna on the top of it, so it'll be that high in the air. There's a wire that comes down from it and goes into the trailer, and then you turn the thing and it does the movement. So that's all set. But installing that pole is going to be something that is way beyond my comfort zone. So I even bought a post hole digger. This is the thing that you stick in the ground and you squeeze it together. It lifts out a little bit of dirt, real pain in the ass. You slowly but surely get deeper and deeper. Then I'm going to put a 4x4 piece of treated lumber into the ground, and I'm going to put the pole. Well, first of all, I'm going to attach the pole onto the piece of lumber, okay, with these brackets. And so you drill it on with these brackets. The pole is attached to the lumber. So now you got 20 feet of pole and 8 feet of lumber attached to each other. Stand it all up. Set it in the ground, into the hole. Diana is holding it so it's level. And then you, like, pour the cement. I got, like, a 50-pound bag of, like, cement. And you mix the water to it, and you pour it in there. And then let it set. Now, as far as I know, that's it. And then I just stand there until it hardens, and then hopefully it doesn't look like it's sideways, reasonably straight in the air, and then that's it, right? Now, I'm sure some of you are like, oh, God, that's going to be a problem because you talked about this. You're going to do it wrong. If you have, I need that information. You got it. Don't be a stranger. Email me, eric@ericzaneshow.com, if you think that sounds in any way screwed up, or if you can give me some quick corner-cutting tips to make this possible. Or don't, because if you don't, something hilarious is going to happen, and when I come back for my next live show after today, that will be Tuesday, I'll say, oh, my God, which one of you didn't tell me about blank? All right? That is going on this weekend. All right. Wish me luck. I have a best of show. I have best of shows on free podcasts and Patreon tomorrow and Monday. I don't want to say best of shows. I hate that term. It's only a force of habit why I say that. It is the Lost Zane recordings. I have been able to, over time, dig up a number of various full shows from when I was on with Greg, Chris, Joe, and Steve on Free Beer and Hot Wings. So I'm just digging those out and playing them in their entirety. Now, there are people that are fans of their show that are not a fan of mine who will love this. And so that's fine. Take it for what it is, a free podcast for with something that I think is quite nostalgic. It is absolutely a different vibe that you probably aren't used to if you are used to the current vibe of the show. But I think you're going to like it. I know when I listened back to it, I enjoyed it. And it has all of the components that made you like it in the first place. It's all in place. That dynamic that we had, it's kind of hard to put a fine point as to how the show was, but it seemed to work. And we had a long streak of success. So if you want to check that out, that is tomorrow right here. I won't have it on Facebook or anything like that. It won't be a live stream, obviously, because I don't have a time machine. But it will be on the free podcast for you to download on all of your podcasting platforms. There you go. Enjoy that. I did Instagram Instant Trivia yesterday, and it is brought to you by Little Debbie, distributed by MB Distributing Incorporated, and, of course, Baldwin Ace Hardware. I gave away 2 fresh, clean $10 bills, one to Zaniac Rob and one to Josh? I think it's Josh. And so it's on Instagram Live, and it is Wednesdays at 7 p.m. That's when I did it. I went live at 7 p.m., and it was kind of glitchy on the tech side. I don't know if it was my Wi-Fi, their Wi-Fi, a combination of Wi-Fis. I even broke it up over 2. The second half of it is available right now for you to watch, but it's not that great. Whatever. But if you want to be part of it so you can win the cash, make sure you follow me on Instagram, okay? Just search Eric Zane Show. The Ask Me Anything is going down. I have a free Patreon Ask Me Anything. So when I get done with this podcast today, I'd love to put a time on it, and I think I can. Yeah, let's go at 11 a.m. sharp on Patreon today. If you are not signed up for Patreon, it doesn't matter. It's free. So everybody has access to it, okay? And you can also see it via my YouTube channel. So if you are happen to be like scrolling around, oh yeah, and you just check out patreon.com/Eric Zane, you'll see it. And it'll be like an open lock. That means it's free. Watch it. And we'll do the Ask Me Anything. Also, if you know where I'm at on YouTube, just Eric Zane Show, it'll be there as well, live, okay? So, a little bit of trepidation because I've had some pretty heavy questions come my way about my personal beliefs, about the past, about various people I've worked with. And at first, I didn't think I was going to get any questions. I thought people were over AMAs, but I posted it. I pinned it to the top of my Facebook. If you have a question for me about any of those topics or anything at all, it doesn't matter. You can ask me anything. It is on Facebook. Pinned to the top. You can ask a question there. Or if you want to ask live while we're doing it, Kenny talked me into saying, hey, man, most AMAs have the people who are hosting it pausing and looking at the questions, which is what I wanted to avoid. But he goes, dude, just do it. So I'm taking Kenny's advice, which is something I thought I'd never say, taking Kenny's advice. But I am. Kenny, I love you. And, okay, so that will be today, 11 a.m. Eastern Time, Patreon and YouTube. Ask Me Anything. In fact, I'd like to read you some of the questions, give you an idea where we're coming from here. All right, let me just get this out of the way. This person, Jared, wrote, I know I missed it probably, but has Ben that big of a wine ass? Now, let me just answer that one right now, actually. He's not. Whatever may have led you go down that road and have that thought process is probably steeped in conflict between him and I that occurred over the last year or so. I guess it's just over a year and 2 months. The fallout that took place was no doubt a lot of upset feelings. So if that was ever portrayed, that's not true. He's not. He's talented. He works hard. We had a falling out, and that's it. So that's hopefully nipping that in the bud. Believe me, I'm not in the world of picking fights with people on AMAs, especially, well, maybe a few. But I'm probably not going to go down that road, and definitely not with people I work with directly, like the old people I work with, like Ben and Free Bear and Hot Wings. I'm just, what the fuck? There's bigger things to worry about in the world, you know. So yeah, I'm glad I got that out of the way there. Also asked Melinda, and I'm not answering this now, Melinda. We'll do it on the AMA at 11 a.m. Have your kids or wife ever got really mad at you for something you said on the air or the podcast? Great question. She also asked, did any of your kids ever walk in on you and Diana when you guys were having sex? I'll answer that and probably have a story. She also asks, if Jackie brought home a rescue dog tomorrow, what would your reaction be? Chris writes, okay, I was curious why you're going to vote for Trump, Eric. I asked because I find this really interesting. He says, I'm step for step with you on your rants during COVID and the approval of what Governor Whitmer has done. He continues, during the primaries, I voted for Bernie. And like I said, I love what the governor has done, as do you. How the hell can you vote for Trump? I'll explain. Let's see. He also wrote, P.S. During the Patreon and yesterday on the show, I was on the edge of my seat as you were getting to the story about the kidney. And for some reason, I was nervous you were going back into radio or something, which is so crazy to think about. It's so crazy to think about, like how much your show has grown and developed since the BBL days doing podcasting. I just kept having this feeling that you got a gig and we're going to ditch the podcast. And I was like, no, but was I wrong? And when you described it, it gave me goosebumps. My mother did that for my grandfather 5 years ago, and I think that is awesome. What you're doing, definitely a God moment. Have a great holiday weekend, signed Chris. And he's referring to Diana and I volunteering to donate a kidney, which you're like, what, you did? If you didn't listen to yesterday's show, you're like, what the fuck are you talking about? Holy shit. I've got an update for you on that. The first hurdle hit yesterday, and I need to discuss with you what went down. Also included on the Ask Me Anything at 11 a.m. Today. Shit. Okay. Kevin in Muskegon. Oh, I just love this guy. What a spirit. So we know from a child your dad grew up Christian. How did you yourself become Catholic? Do you think or feel that Catholicism is mostly ritual-filled at Mass or not? Me, I'm Christian, and I believe that Christianity is more of a personal relationship with Jesus, and really stripped down to that. No ritualistic stuff involved. So he's asking me a question and give me his opinion. I'm not slamming Catholics, truly. I just don't get it. You go to a man to get your sins forgiven when you can go directly to God. He's like, I like to cut out the middleman. It's just something I've never understood because almost every Catholic I've known are essentially Catholics and Christian mindsets. You ever considered becoming a Christian? I need to address part of that right now. Dude, you might not know it, but you do now. Catholics are Christians. Okay? Hell, I'm the New York Yankees of Christianity. It's one and the same. You are Christian, Catholic, Christian. A Catholic is Christian, but a Christian does not have to be Catholic. Christians are Lutherans. They are Pentecostals. They are Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They are, whatever is, we have the same boss, Kevin. So you might not be aware of that. I figured I would just point you in the right direction. Now, I'll answer that, too, on the Ask Me Anything. The Ask Me Anything might go like 3 hours. It's going to be awesome. I wasn't sure about it yesterday, but I've since changed my opinion about it. It's going to be fantastic. You can leave a question pinned to the top of my Facebook. You can send me an email, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Subject AMA. It must be subject AMA because it's easy for me to sort them that way. When you're a one-man show, it's all about being able to access stuff. So subject line AMA if you want to be private, eric@ericzaneshow.com, and if you wish to remain anonymous. And also, while I stream it live, there's comments available. You can ask me there. But it's harder for me to see those. And I'm just going to ask this in advance. The usual suspects who populate the Patreons with lots of comments between you, which is fine. I love that. Don't do that today because it's harder for me to pinpoint the questions. So there you go. That's all you got to worry about. And it will be so much fun when I do it at 11 a.m. Eastern Time in just a little while. Now, I teased on the description of this podcast, and what I say by that, I mean like the live stream, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube, about something on the update on the kidney. And if you are just getting to this podcast and did not get to yesterday's podcast, you must listen to yesterday's podcast. It might be the most important thing I ever talked about. Diana and I have agreed to go down the road to get a kidney removed out of us to be given to a person that I haven't laid eyes on in 32 years. I don't want to go and rehash that entire story for you. Just go back one day and cue in. Yeah, man. Cue in to about 10 minutes, 35 seconds of the podcast, man. That's when Zane starts the story. And it actually is. If you're on the audio podcast or whatever from yesterday, cue in to about 10:35 in. That's when I start, or 10:55 actually. That's when I start telling the story of what is happening in our lives. So that'll get you all caught up on that. But for those of you that already know, well, let's just jump to the next step. After putting in all of my information on the questionnaire to the living donor page for UCLA, of course, unbelievably historic college on the West Coast, their medical center. I also did the same thing for Baylor University. Why them? Well, this person who would be the recipient works with those hospitals. He's well known because for a long time he has been trying to get a recipient, and his heart has been broken many, many times with because it's a very stringent process to donate a kidney. There's things that get in the way with it. So, and there are these hurdles. And if one of those hurdles gets knocked down, the person who wants to donate it is out. You cannot donate. They have these checks and balances in kidney donation, and they're there for a reason. I don't know all the ins and outs of that. But yesterday was our first test. Now, again, Diana and I applied separately to these entities that I just talked to you about. So we're each going to get a call. The first people to reach out to us was UCLA. And this nice lady reaches out to me, and she begins to dig deeper onto my questionnaire. And she has various questions for me. And just the nicest lady in the world. By the way, I'm dealing with a lot more people on the West Coast, and I am learning there is an absolute language differential. I don't speak California, and I'm still working on the accent. But my pal who lives out there, and this lady I was talking to, I'm like, I can almost not understand you people. I was like, boy, I want to talk to Kenny so I can understand English again, and that's saying something. Yeah, man, I hear you. So I'm talking to this lady, and she's asking me all sorts of questions. And I get the feeling, because what they're asking you, what your answers are going to be, is going to determine whether or not the next step takes place. Now, I would assume that no matter what I answered, they would then go on with the next step. But there's a lot of things that are in play. And one of the things they ask is, okay, are you in good health? Well, yeah. When was the last time you saw a doctor? That's always the follow-up. And I go, I don't know, a month and a half ago. She goes, and she's like, oh, thank God. And I'm like, what? And she's like, well, you wouldn't believe. And she asked me, is it for a physical? I go, oh, yeah, everything. I got everything done. She goes, blood work? I go, oh, yeah. She goes, oh, thank God. So, this is key. And that's a big one, man, because what that determines is I have a real interest in my health, and a lot of the times she was telling me that they might talk to a prospective donor who says, I'm in great health. When's the last time you were to a doctor? 15 years ago. A lot can happen in that time. I have heard stories about people that have been like, yeah, I'm in great health. When's the last time you went to a doctor? Long time ago. And then they go to the doctor, and they got cancer on their kidneys. I mean, like, true story. And I go, I'm looking. I looked at my calendar. I go, well, last time I got a full physical was 2 months and 19 days ago, 18 days ago as of yesterday. And she goes, oh my gosh, that is so awesome. I go, that's right, California girl. And she goes, well, we got to get access to all your files. I go, well, you have my permission, please do. So that first hurdle is cleared. We cleared it by like 8 feet. Diana had the same success. The way they do it is then they start to run out ground balls of places where I can get tested. Various bits of particular testing needs to be done. And they try to make it around where you live. And then there are some things that we would have to actually go to California to be tested for. And it's a process. This is not a quick thing. I was watching a video that I posted yesterday on the In the News section of EricZaneShow.com that talked about year and a half for some of these people. So I'm not hoping for like the Trump fast track here. I'm willing to wait it out. I'm just telling my buddy, I'm like, hey man, just hang on, just keep doing what you're doing. He's on dialysis every day, 12 hours a day. His kidneys are shit, and so that's where we stand. The way they do it is everything is covered. There is not one expense for the donors or the recipients. It's covered by Medicaid I forget which. I always mix those up. Anyway, it's paid for. So that makes it easy. I don't want to worry about anything other than A, staying healthy, and B, getting this kidney out of my body if it fits and getting it in his so that we can look back on this in 3 years' time and say, oh, that was the time, man. Holy shit, what a story. I am becoming an advocate for this living donor. Yeah, that's right. I'm telling you that if you feel somebody knocking on your brain like it did me, think about it. Go to In the News of EricZaneShow.com and scroll around there till you see the living donor story that I posted and the video that goes with it. When they take a kidney out of you, you're out of the hospital in a day and a half to 2 days. You get a little tired quicker, and then your body adapts. I found out that your kidney actually grows because it's got a little bit more work that it does because you're down one. But your kidney was super healthy to begin with, or they never would have taken the other one out. You're more than capable of functioning on one kidney with zero ramifications, no side effects whatsoever. They answer the question about, well, what if my kidney goes bad? Then I'm dead. There's a whole list. Trust me, if you are looking at this video that I posted, all your questions are answered that you have, generally speaking. Then it's up to you to run out the ground ball on your own. Think about it. Talk about it with your family. Pray about it. And if you're like, I don't know, don't do it. Do not do it. But consider it. Because where I live alone in Michigan, there's more than 2,000 people that are like my buddy. And they're going to die unless some awesome person donates a kidney. Wouldn't that be fantastic? There's a real stigma around kidney donation. And I'm more than willing to spread the word as much as I can about it. The open of the Eric Zane Show Podcast. I've got 3 sponsors to talk about right now. One is the Kent County Health Department. Here's the drill. Into your elbow. I yelled at Diana because she sneezed kind of in her elbow yesterday, but not really, and we got in a fight. I said a bad word. Sorry about that, honey. And keep socially distant from people. Don't be an ignorant, dumb as a stump shithead who doesn't wear a mask. But I'm guessing that if you're not, and you heard me say that, that's not going to help. So, and do all those things. I want to make sure that you do that. For you people that refuse to wear masks, just stay in the house, get drunk, and pass out, but don't leave the house. As well, if you're hard up for cash, some of you are because you haven't been able to work or money is tight, 616-632-7200. Put you front and center with the folks at the Kent County Health Department who will tell you if you qualify for the WIC program. I don't want you worried about where your next meal comes from, and I don't want your kids starving. Call them. This program has been in place forever. Use that money. Hell, they've been taking it out of your paycheck anyway. You might as well use it, damn it. 616-632-7200. We've got a house cleaner on the show. Her name is Amy, and she's the best in the business. She'll give you an estimate, 616-550-3644. If you're like, I can't afford a house cleaner. Yeah, you can. It wouldn't be great if, like, Amy showed up at your house once a week and just did a number on that thing. That's what she does each and every day. That's A&D Cleaning. Call Amy Porter, 616-550-3644. And finally, sponsors of the Open, Blue Frost IT. BlueFrostIT.com is their website. I talked about this earlier. Let's say you're a medium-sized business. You got 21 employees. You're the owner. You're back at the office. Yeah, maybe your assistant is with you in the office and everybody else is working from home. Well, what if 4 of those remaining people working at home, what if their laptops go kablooey? What are you going to do? And that's a serious problem. Well, if you have Blue Frost IT already in the fold, you know, your own a la carte or monthly IT department, you don't have to worry. They can log in remotely and take care of the problem for you. 616-200-8550 for BlueFrostIT.com. Or if you need a quick fix, the hourly rate has been slashed by half during the pandemic. Thank you, Blue Frost IT. All right. It's time to introduce you to Mr. 3000. Who the hell is that? I'm not really sure where this took place. It might have been Colorado. I don't recall. Doesn't matter. You've got a, by the way, do you say Costco or Costco? I always say Costco. Do you say Costco or Costco? Anyway, at the Costco, they have a policy there, and that is you cannot get into Costco if you don't have a mask. So if you go, first of all, I don't know how this guy even got in the door because there's always the checker there making sure you got, like, your card. I don't know how this guy got in the door. But he's walking around Costco, and he gets approached by some dude who works there and says, "Look, man, you gotta wear a mask," and he refuses to do it. Well, this guy who works there, he's like, "All right, well, I'm gonna take your card away from you, and you gotta leave the store." Well, this dummy, this stupid idiot who's not wearing the mask, busts out his cell phone, and he thinks that he's gonna put this guy in his place by recording him and to show him his 3,000 followers on Instagram. And so, he thinks he's got this guy by the short and curlies. And this guy, he rolls with it and puts his foot down in such a hilarious way, the Costco worker. I just love it. The guy now is known as Mr. 3000, the dickhead not wearing the mask. This is how it went. Pay attention.
I'll just put you on my 3,000 follower Instagram feed, mostly locals.
Hi everyone, I work for Costco and I'm asking this member to put on a mask because that is our company policy. So either wear the mask
and I'm not doing it because I woke up in a free country.
Have a great day.
So you're going to take this cart from me?
Sir, have a great
full
day.
Of stuff.
You are no longer welcome here. in our warehouse. You need to leave. Thank you very much.
You put it on. I'll give you my card. He's gonna take the card away because he's a pussy little bitch.
Oh, I don't think he
There
is.
he is, walking away with all my stuff. There he goes. Because I'm not a fucking sheep. I'll just put you on my 3,000 follower Instagram feed.
All right. So, a couple things before I play that again. He refers to the Costco guy as a pussy little bitch. I don't think he is. I think he was terrific in that regard in how he handled that. He said few words. He said, "You're not welcome. You have to leave," and takes the dude's shit. Dude's got, a full cart of the fucking all this shit in there, and the guy, fuck. He's the only guy in the store with no mask. And and this guy's big thing is, I live in a free country. And I've heard that from you fucking non-mask wearing twats time and again about how your rights are being trampled and all this bullshit. And it's like, this has nothing to do with your rights, you stupid cocksucker. This has to do with the fact that this is a business and they've put it right on the sign, a policy, no mask, you're not coming in. It's the same thing when I talk about like dumb shits like Alex Jones, when people say, why is this free speech being oppressed? And fucking Google killed him on his platform. Google's platform has terms, dumb shit. That's why he got fired, or that's why he got deplatformed. Same thing here. You can't just go into a business that has rules, fuckhead, and just assume you can do whatever the fuck you want. That's what this guy thought. So he's like, I'm not a sheep. And that's what this fucking idiot is all about. He's like, I'm not going to be a sheep. He's so ignorant about this. He's worried about being a sheep? That is such a shit response on this. To just say that people are going with it because they're sheep. It's like, no, dude, it's because we're smarter than you. We don't want to get other people sick. We don't want to get stupid fucks like you sick. That's what this is all about. Listen to this idiot again.
I'll just put you on my 3,000 follower Instagram feed. Mostly locals.
Hi, everyone.
I love that. Hi, everyone. Fantastic.
I work for Costco, and I'm asking this member to put on a mask because that is our company policy. So either wear the mask
And I'm not doing it because I woke up in a free country.
Have a great day.
So you're going to take this cart from me.
Sir, have a great
Full
day.
of stuff.
You are no longer welcome here in our warehouse.
Oh.
You need to leave. Thank you very much.
You put it on.
He is swift and certain with the you need to leave.
I'll give you my card.
So he thinks he can still pay for it. He's like, yeah, he's saying to his wife, I'll give you my card and I'll leave. But this guy's like, fuck that. I'm taking the card.
Take the card away because he's a pussy little bitch.
No, he's not.
There he is, walking away with all my stuff. There he goes.
Yeah. You know what this guy is? This guy's a fucking bully who's a big fat ass, too. This fat pig is a big fucking slob, and he probably couldn't fight his way out of a wet paper bag. And this skinny dude at Costco, he doesn't give a shit. He's like, yeah, you know what? Fuck you. Takes it. And then this guy, he's probably not used to that. He probably browbeats his fucking wife, treats her like shit. And she's probably like, yeah, fucking fist bump. It's about time somebody put this fat piece of shit in his place. This dick's not done, though. Someone else on Twitter pointed out that this guy who's known as, now, like I said, Mr. 3000, he went on Instagram and posted another video. He's laying in bed. He looked like me. Remember that time when I got fired from BBL and I had the beard and I made that announcement like, oh, my God, they just fired everybody and I just puked because I'm sick and I'm going to do a podcast now. I was laying in bed when I did that. That's what this guy did. He's laying in bed, probably getting more pissed off because everybody on his Instagram is calling him a stupid fat idiot. And he goes ahead and posts this shit. Listen to his point, if there is one. Listen to what how he tries to justify his behavior.
What up, everybody? It's your favorite Reddit public freak-out fucking villain, alright? And I'm gonna tell you this. 1, yeah, I'm a little fat, I get that. 2,
That's funny.
I've got every fucking right to not wear a mask anywhere because this isn't about wearing a
Wrong. You don't. Not at Costco.
mask. This is about control, okay? And I'm not the
All right, he's one of these guys who thinks that, similar to the dipshits who say that, like Governor Whitmer, closing down businesses is not about keeping people alive. These stupid shits think that she's doing that because it makes her feel good, because she wants to kill those businesses. Like dumb Melissa on Patreon, when I got into that argument with her, that's what she wrote. Her words are, "Oh, it's about control. That's what it's about." I'm like, no, it's not. Do you really believe that? And she wouldn't answer me. She wouldn't give me an answer. I kept asking her the same question. She was like, "I'm getting annoyed." I'm like, "Well, yeah, you're getting annoyed because I'm giving you like a common sense response. It's not about that." This cock feels the same way.
Fucking sheep. Y'all are the fucking sheeps, every single one of you, going along with what everybody else is saying.
Yeah, I am. If me not getting the poor old guy in the store sick means that I'm a sheep, guilty. Dumb fuck.
One of the only people in that store not wearing a mask.
Hold on, let me
which
back up.
means
I don't want to interrupt it anymore. I'm getting too worked up, and it's diluting the message.
Going along with what everybody else is saying. I was one of the only people in that store not wearing a mask, which means you're protected from me and I'm protected from you, okay? That dude was hovering over me. He was stalking me. He was fucking with me. I just took out my camera at that moment so I could show people how this guy was acting towards one person, okay? So if everyone else is wearing a mask, then one person should be able to fly, if anything. This isn't about the mask. It's about control, okay? You need to get that through your thick heads and realize that I'm not the fucking sheep, okay? I was the only one not wearing a mask in that thing. I'm saying that again, okay? The only fucking one.
So what?
So everybody else is the sheep.
So
and all
what?
you people in the comment, you guys are the fucking sheep. Look at your comments. I'm the only one that sticks out from all of you fucking liberals.
Okay.
And yes, this is a partisan issue. So, leave me your fucking comments and talk shit to me there in the comments, and I'll respond to you as much as Reddit will let me. Peace out.
Yeah. Peace out. What a fucking idiot. You see, him saying, "I was the only one," it's just proving that, yes, you are the only one that stupid in the face of, first of all, absolute logic and a fucking rule that is that ignorant to do something like that. So him going down the road of saying it should be okay for me to not do it because everybody wore a mask and I should be allowed not to because we're all protected. So he's kind of like, he's really just strangely stupid. I think that that type of point of view on all of this is what really actually makes me mad, like fighting mad. Like I want to strangle him. And it's just too bad. The side effect of trying to keep states safe has resulted in so many stupid people being heard. I don't like it when the dumb are seen. I don't like it when the dumb are heard. And it just pisses me off. So he kind of goes back on the same thing, talking about control, and it's about control. So this guy really believes that. He has no clue about what this is all about. I'm actually fearful for the dude or for the chick that he's married to or has seen. You know, the fact that these people exist, they raise their kids, they're just as ignorant. It's sickening. You know what? I am already late to talk to Allison from Harbor Humane. So I should probably do that right now. I'll come back to that other story I wanted to talk about. You won't believe what happened in this church fire in Mississippi. The other side of that is, whereas, you know, obviously I'm in lockstep with doing things like wearing a mask. Well, people who might also be in that type of frame of mind as me can also be extreme. Case in point, in Mississippi, you've heard about all the people going back to their churches and stuff like that, and we talked about the pastor Tony Spell, I think is his name, or Tony Snell, whatever the fuck, that guy in Louisiana. Well, that's never stopped. some extremists on the other side of that, oh boy, they have acted out on this church, and it's not good. I'll get to that story in just a little bit. But I'm going to call up Allison from a terrific place known as Harbor Humane here in West Michigan. And, I'll introduce you to her in just a second. She's probably like, where is he? He told me he was going to call.
Hello.
Hey, Allison, how are you?
I'm good. How are you, Eric?
Oh, I got off on a rant, a big one, and then I looked at the time, and I realized that I'm way late. So
That's okay. I figured you were ranting.
oh my gosh. Hey, thanks a lot for being a supporter of the show. It wasn't that long ago that you joined up on Patreon. What is your history with me? Did you find out about the show after radio, or did you listen on the radio? What? How does it go for you, Allison?
Actually, my main knowledge of you, my husband and I are Griffin season ticket holders.
Aha.
So, yes, I know you best from the Griffins. My husband used to listen to Free Beer and Hot Wings, and I think he caught you over on BBL occasionally.
Oh, okay.
I did, like, occasionally, you know, if we were going up north for a trip, we'd try to tune in the morning.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So yeah,
Right.
during quarantine, I started downloading your podcast, and you've kind of been my coworker for the past 6 weeks.
Really? So that means you get me. You didn't have to endure the metamorphosis of when I started podcasting, which was really rough. Did you hopefully you didn't go back and listen to the old shows, did you?
No, I didn't.
Oh God, yeah. Don't just stay in the now. You got to stay in the present. Oh, those were really, really bad. Well, I'm glad to have you, and I know you signed up on Patreon too, so thank you for that. And hopefully, I'll be able to stay being a part of your day.
Absolutely.
Now, one of the things that happened though is you approached me about us kind of forming a partnership, and I thought, boy, what a awesome thing for you to do to present this to me, like always thinking out for the animals that you are serving and the people that you are serving at an organization known as Harbor Humane Society, not far from here in West Olive in Ottawa County. Can you please describe to everybody in the audience what Harbor Humane is all about, Allison?
Absolutely. So we are the Ottawa County shelter, essentially. We're not directly affiliated with the government, but we hold the county contract. So that means every single stray animal in Ottawa County comes to us.
Wow. And there's a lot of them, huh?
Yeah. There are. Yep. It seems to go up every year. And then in addition to that, we take in owner surrenders. So if people can't keep their pets, we take them. We take in a lot of transfers, in-state and out-of-state. We take in as far as from like Tennessee, Louisiana, states where spay and neutering isn't as prevalent. So they have a lot of overpopulation issues that we don't see quite as much in Michigan anymore.
Right.
So
Yeah, so that has been.
So yeah.
That has been that sounds like a terrific organization. How long have you been working with the county? How long has Harbor Humane been a thing?
Harbor was formed. It was Ottawa Shores back in 1956.
Okay.
So we actually have a really long
Gotcha.
history.
All right. Right now, what is it looking like at the shelter in terms of animals? How has COVID-19 changed things for you at Harbor Humane?
Well, it's changed things quite a bit. We're kind of like a small business in a sense. And so obviously we've had, some cash flow crunches. We've had to discontinue a lot of our programming. We actually have a thrift store in Holland that we've had to shutter until the governor raises her stay-at-home order and allows retail to continue. But the animals have been doing really well. We got a ton of them out into foster. We've had really, really great adoption rates. On that side of things, people have been using this time, I think, to add a new furry member to their family, which is really awesome.
I love that, and we have plenty of time to talk about it. But I want to talk a little bit about the adoption thing first, because I think that's what people think about most right off the bat.
Absolutely.
And so,
Yep.
and because there's a lot of things that you're doing to try to help move the meter and make sure that, well, basically you have dog food and can keep the lights on. We'll talk about that in a second. But I see on your website, harborhumane.org, dog adoption survey, cat adoption survey, working cat adoption form, all of these things. And there's even pictures of the available pets. And I'm falling in love right now as we speak. My gosh.
I bet.
Oh man, this is not a great place for me to be. I just had somebody ask me on the Ask Me Anything, which I'm going to do at 11 a.m. If Jackie brought home another pet, how would you react? And I'm like, oh my God, I'd like to say that I would be maybe not, but then I see Apollo here and Tully and Josie and Violet. Oh my God. Fantastic animals and cats and dogs that are available to be adopted at Harbor Humane Society, right?
Oh yeah, we got a lot of amazing animals.
Okay. Now, one of the things you and I talked about is spreading the word about some of the things that you are doing at Harbor Humane to try to raise funds for you guys. So, what is top of mind for you right now, Allison?
To kind of supplement the programs that we can't do right now, we've kind of gotten creative, and one of our more random and creative things is we are doing a shrub sale on the weekends. It's Friday from 2 to 4 and Saturday from 10 to 2 right in our parking lot, and we've got a bunch of different size shrubs. We've added some flowers. There were tulips last weekend. We had dogwoods, lilacs, some like grasses. We're apparently just turning the parking lot into a nursery.
All right. So I know a lot of these Zaniacs would love to get their hands on some shrub. So you know who you are. You can. So did you say it's in the parking lot of Harbor Humane?
It is. Yep.
All right. What time again? Sorry. You might have said
Friday. Yeah, Friday 2 to 4, and then Saturday from 10 to 2. And we're going to do that the next couple of weekends.
All right, excellent. It says here you wrote down that there's a link on the website to buy tickets for an event that you have coming up. What is that? What is it? Something about Alice for Tales?
Ales for Tales.
Ales
so
for
that's
Tales.
our big summer.
I said Alice. I didn't realize that word is ales. That would make sense. How embarrassing.
It makes more sense, right?
Yes, Ales for Tales. Talk about Ales for Tales. I'm doing terribly.
Yep, so that is our summer signature event. Usually it's in July, but we moved it back to August in the hopes that we will still be able to have it this year. It's kind of an indoor-outdoor space. It's in the Yacht Basin Marina in Holland. So it's in one of their boat barns, but we open up the big doors. So we kind of have an indoor-outdoor space. And it's just basically a big fun party. There are food vendors, a bunch of different beer vendors. We're going to have the band Brenna this year, which has a big following in West Michigan. So yeah, it's basically just a super fun party on the lake to benefit the animals.
That is great. And they can get all the information that they need at harborhumane.org then.
Yeah, we haven't pushed a ton of the ale stuff out yet just because we pushed the date back, and then, there's a little bit of uncertainty in the air.
Right.
But right now it's scheduled for August 20th, and we're really hoping that we will be able to pull it off. Otherwise, we'll probably be doing some kind of big online fundraiser to supplement that.
Allison from Harbor Humane, let me run this by you right now, because too often when I would work in radio, we would do things where a person like yourself might come in with pets, but obviously on the radio it's kind of hard to really have a in the moment vibe where we can see the animal because you're on the radio. But I mean, since people have kind of adapted by using Zoom, pandemic or not, we should do that. We should have you with some pets you want to highlight. You and I can be on Zoom, and you can show the audience the pets, and that way we can talk about them for it doesn't matter how long, just a handful of minutes, and just say, all right, here's Skippy the pit bull. All right, here's Violet the cat. That would be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, that would be really fun.
I would love that. It would be so much fun.
I'd be down for that.
Yeah, all right. Well, good. Is there anything else that we need to talk about, Allison from Harbor that you'd like to get a little publicity for?
We are taking bottle returns too, like both nonprofits in the area. So if you live in the Holland, Grand Haven area and you have a bunch of bottles sitting in your garage, you can bring them out to Harbor, and we will return them.
Yeah, and that's great because there's been a lot of people that just can't return them, and I've seen some awesome fundraisers that have been established because of that. So, that would be great. Drop off. I know I got about 5 bags full of non-alcoholic beer cans that need some place to go, so that would be perfect. Finally, a way to get rid of those instead of just throwing them out and do some good with that because I guess we don't know how long it's going to be until we can actually return those damn things. Okay.
Right, we're hoping soon.
Yeah. Well, Allison, I really appreciate you. You did a great job. We'll have to do this again very, very soon, okay?
That sounds great. Thank you so much, Eric, for letting me come on.
Oh, my gosh. The pleasure is mine. Pleasure is mine, Allison. Well, okay. Say hi to your husband, and I'll talk to you very soon, all right?
Sounds good.
Thank you, Allison. That is Allison from Harbor Humane, online at harborhumane.org. All right, very cool. I like the idea of being able to see the dogs, the cats. Alice for tails. I thought it was a typo. Of course it's ales for tails. Alice for tails? Is that what he said? What a fucking dum-dum. God, it's embarrassing. I hope you got a laugh out of Alice for tails. Shit. There's no redos on this. It's just out for the world when I do stupid shit. God, I'm like sweating over how dumb that was. All right. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke oh, my God. I might as well just start over. Might as well shut the whole thing down. Hold on. Breathe deep. Sponsors to talk about now. The Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Reach out to them. Get a mortgage from Mario. 231-332-6505. Mario's been doing this for a long time. He's seen it all. Whether if you've got a terrific credit score or one that's like, he wants to work with you. First-time home buyers, he especially caters to you because he knows that some of you are like, I don't want to ask the wrong thing and sound dumb. All right? Mario deals with me, so he's used to hearing people that sound dumb. 231-332-6505. Some of you want to walk around with a pistol on your hip. Well, I do that. And all I had to do, actually, I take it back. I did own a pistol. But I didn't even know how to load the damn thing. I went to see retired U.S. Army Major Steve Prince. I took his class. I had some knowledge, enough to be certified. That's the law in the state of Michigan. I took my certification to the county. They said, all right, you're approved. Took my fingerprints, did a background check. That's how it is. In a couple months, I get your CPL. Then you can walk around with it concealed. Then you practice. Then you get good with that thing. All right? 616-204-1705. You were practicing ahead of time because you probably went to the range. Prince Army, they want to teach you all you need to know to get your concealed pistol license. June 4th and June 6th. It's one class over 2 days. Okay? Thursday, June 4th, Saturday, June 6th. Call Steve at 616-204-1705. He's a freedom fighter, too, by the way. He's a real patriot. Him and I go round and round about that. All right. And last but not least for this time around, A&E Heating and Cooling, 616-516-8579. My man Joe Martinez is going to be by later on today. Yeah. Tuning up my AC. I got all sorts of Zane Show sponsors at the house here today. I got Joe doing the AC tune-up, and I got Dale power washing the house. So it's going to be like a conversation between Dale and Joe Martinez. Well, they're going to be working at the same time, so Joe's going to be like, hey, man, I know who throws Dale is.
Tu madre es una puta.
You talking about my mother? What the fuck you talking about there, Joe?
Vete a la chingada, cabrón.
No, you go fuck yourself. What you talking about? I'll kick your ass. I'm an MMA fighter.
Come mis nalgas cuando yo estoy cagando, cabrón.
Eat your ass while you're shitting. What the fuck you talking about? Zane, what the fuck is this guy's problem?
Lame mi palo con tu culo.
He's telling me to suck his dick with his butt. Or with my butt. I'm not sucking anybody's dick with my butt. Doing the Dale voice makes me cough. All right, 616-516-8579. The Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating products are used at A&E Heating and Cooling. That's a great brand. Comfort with confidence with the Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating. All right. I always feel like I should be saying the Comfort Maker Air Conditioning and Heating supplies, equipment. I don't know. It always strikes me as weird. 616-516-8579 for old Joe. Okay. I got into it a little bit about how on the one side you've got the extreme of dumb shit like Mr. 3000 saying, hey, I've got 3,000 Instagram followers and you're a sheep if you wear a mask. That is pretty extreme and ridiculous. This is the other side of that. This is the first real type of extremism I've heard from the side of this argument that says, hey, man, stay home. Or maybe the bad guys in this story are using that as an excuse to burn a church. You know, maybe to throw them off the trail. Not sure. This is fucked up. The First Pentecostal Church of Holly Springs in Mississippi burned to the ground yesterday morning. This church had been in a legal battle to continue holding services despite the virus. You know, we've heard about that a million times. And all the lockdown orders. Somebody lit that damn thing on fire. Investigators said the church was spray painted with graffiti. And they talk about it. It said on it, I bet you stay home now, hypocrites. But hypocrites was spelled weird. It wasn't spelled correctly. It was spelled Hypokrits. The police there said, yeah, it's a criminal act of arson. We're looking into it. My God, these dumb shits are doing it this way, which is just even worse. We're in a time, according to the person speaking here, where I don't think it's any secret that there's a growing hostility toward churches. And now here are churches like First Pentecostal that are sort of stirring up the waters by being outspoken and somewhat firm about what they believe in. Now, though it is wrong that they feel that they should gather, it definitely is not right to go and burn the frickin' church down. They've had a lot of trouble on social media because of it. I don't have a problem with that. There's just a segment that's taking issue with the church standing up and the church just being the church. I still don't understand. I've never been able to understand the mindset of the freedom fighter. And there's a lot of them listening right now who love me and love the show, and they don't understand how I don't understand. It's just I've never quite gotten past the fact that you actually think that this is being done to control you. And I don't follow your logic. I understand you're frustrated, but to me, it makes you look like you're a dumbass. And it's really frustrating to me to think that you believe what you believe. I've talked about it many, many times. I'd love to say I'm done with stories about that, but I've got another one here for you. This is a gun shop in Oakland County, Michigan, which is an enormously affected community of coronavirus, one of the biggest in the state, bigger than where I live. I think it's the second biggest county in the entire state. Probably 7,000 to 10,000 people have come down with coronavirus, tons of death. This guy he's got it all here when it comes to the type of people who would want to defy in order to stay home. He has a gun shop, which is deemed essential in Michigan for some reason, and that's remained open. Inside of the gun shop is a barber shop and a fucking restaurant. Of course there's a barber shop, so the dipshit who would want to not wear a mask and think everybody is a sheep is going to go in and get a shitty-looking haircut. They should hire that dickhead old man from Owasso to give you a shitty haircut inside of the stupid gun shop. Well, this guy is, and this is the problem, the dumbass is flaunting the order to not open the cafe. The state says you can't open, people cannot congregate, you cannot serve food in your cafeteria or whatever the fuck it is. Where you probably serve chewy, shitty steaks. And he's like, no, I'm a freedom fighter. I should be able to open that up. And he's doing just that, but the problem is it's on the news. If this dumb shit would not have called the TV and not posted it on his Facebook, nobody would have known. And you could have done it no problem. And all of your shithead idiots that would show up to get their haircut and do whatever it is at your place could easily get the food. But you're such a fucking moron, you publicize it, and now the world knows, and now Dana Nessel is going to come in there with a wire brush and stick it up your hillbilly ass.
Tomorrow, not for carryout, but for dine-in service. Mara McDonald live in New Hudson tonight. Mara, we have seen some other businesses in the area open kind of in defiance of the governor's order, but not a restaurant.
Well, here we go, Devin, and this one is called Molly Pitcher's Cafe, and it is not a standalone restaurant. It is part of the overall complex here at Huron Valley Guns, which has the gun shop, range, restaurant, as well as a barber shop. And tonight the owners,
he's got to add like airbrush t-shirt facility, I don't know, strip joint. He's got to add all these John Deere tractor repair. These are all great things that need to be added on to his megaplex.
Says he's reopening his restaurant despite the governor's executive order. Gun shops have remained open during this virus outbreak.
Hand grenade testing facility.
But up until this point, Ed Swadesh, owner of Huron Valley Guns, has only kept the gun portion of his complex open. Tomorrow, all that changes. He's opening his restaurant, and he announced his rationale on the store's Facebook page. We will not obey illegal orders, it says. We went along with the flattening of the curve concept, but we never agreed to closing until the virus is eradicated.
Okay. So this stupid cocksucker's message is that we never agreed to eradicate. Well, first of all, that's not happening. Again, these guys that point fingers and say, you're sheep, a Constitution freedom fighter, Betsy Ross, fucking Ben Franklin, don't tread on me, I'm an asshole. All these dumb cocks are under the impression that they're going to have to keep doing this until there's a cure. That's not happening. If you would shut the fuck up and quit being dramatic, in a short amount of time, you'll be back in business. But now you've made this problem bigger for yourself because you're defying the order. So it's probably going to be worse for you in the long run. Not one person, you're the only one, people like you, have said this is going to be until there's a cure. That's not happening, okay? It is all about flattening the curve, and it's worked and continues to work. Because you're jumping the gun, you're probably going to delay it and make it worse for you. So good job on that.
I called Swadesh tonight, and while he didn't want to do an on-camera interview, he talked about his reasoning. He'll tell you that he believes this virus is real and that it has been deadly. However, he told me he also believes it has been politically weaponized, as he put on social.
See, how stupid is that? Yeah, it's politically weaponized. He had a point. He's going to make it. Listen.
Media. When all the states that are still on lockdown are Democratic, I have to assume there are politically charged motivations.
No.
Swadesh.
All it means is that people, if it's all Democratic, that means they're smarter than the ones who are closed or that have decided to open up. That's all that means. And you're just going to have to accept that. They're making better decisions than the ones that are being led by the other side. I'm a fucking Republican, and I agree with the Democrats, okay? Because I like living, cocksucker. This is ridiculous. And he's sitting there saying, oh, yeah, it's politicized, they're using it to weaponize. Again, I asked you the same question I asked Zaniac Melissa. Why? Why would they do that? Take a step back. Ask yourself, why would they do that? Give me a reason other than a talking point that you heard on fucking Rush Limbaugh or Sean Hannity, who are feeding you, spoon-feeding you horse shit, you stupid cock.
Told me he's not worried about any licensing issue over his decision to open the restaurant, but the barber shop in his complex is remaining closed because the stylists are concerned about their licenses. A search of Huron Valley's social media shows his opposition to the governor's executive orders. The menu for tomorrow's opening has already been printed up, dubbed the Freedom Menu.
Yeah, and you look at it and it says entrees, a Freedom Burger, essential fries, Ben Franklin cheese curds, Minutemen fucking Coca-Cola. It's all in there. The guy's a cock. He is, this is what it is. This stupid shit. Talk about weaponizing the pandemic and all the shit going around it. He is openly defying the order, not because he's concerned about his freedom. You want to jump to conclusions, asshole? I'll jump to conclusions. Your shithole gun shop, barber shop, RV repair, fucking burger joint, you're only doing this because you know in the long run the publicity is going to help you. You see the stupid old man and all the freedom fighters getting their hair cut shittily by him and the money he's making hand over fist now. And you see all that publicity. And you're like, hey, fuck, man, I'm going to do the same damn thing. I may get ordered to shut down, but in the long run, all the other gun-toting hillbilly rednecks are going to show up at my shithole. I'm going to give them a fucking toaster oven Freedom Burger, and then maybe I'll sell them a gun. They'll get a shitty haircut. They can go to the wife punching station, do that, get some Carhartt gear, some new fucking boots, throw a hand grenade at a fucking liberal. And then that's the end of end of the day. That's what's going on here. That's what this guy's doing. It has nothing to do with freedom.
Back here live. So what's the restaurant going to look like tomorrow?
Shit.
Swadesh tells me you as a customer do not have to wear a mask. However, his servers will wear masks.
Why?
They will wear gloves.
Wait a minute. Whoa. Why would you do that? You're a freedom fighter. You don't need to be a sheep. Why in God's name would you want to do everything the opposite? You want to have a coronavirus mister and spray people when they walk in, you dumb fuck. Why would you? Okay, customers, no masks for you, but my employees wear masks. Well, that's just bullshit. You're a pussy.
Will be socially distanced. They've got picnic tables set up outside here.
You don't need that.
And everything that comes to the table will be disposable. Condiments, the whole thing.
Yeah, get the food and throw it right at the fucking dumb bitch serving you.
Kimberly, Devin, we're live in Lyon Township tonight. Back to you.
Well, Mara, if he's not concerned about licensing issues, what about fines?
Well, I think that is an issue, and it's going to be interesting to see what goes down here once this actually reopens. I mean, does Dana Nessel step in like she did in the Owasso Barber case? Also, what about the Oakland County Health Department?
Yeah.
Are they going to come out here?
Yeah.
I guess we wait and see.
We need a Waco.
Yep. All right,
we need a fucking Waco siege where, you know, the National Guard, they have tanks show up and just drive over the fucking place, okay? And that's it. We're shutting you down, and you defied the order, so now take this tank driving over the building, and we're going to tear the fucker down. You build it when you're ready, and then you'll be back in business. By then, we won't have to deal with your fucking ass anymore. Horse shit. And all this big fucking dramatic stand on Facebook is it emboldens other dipshits out there. The point of the lockdown in the first place was to keep people from going out as much as possible to these places. And for the most part, it's worked. Yeah, there have been bumps along the way, but again, there's no fucking playbook for this. So it really pisses me off when these cocksuckers, not only do they do it, it's one thing if they do it, okay? It's the flaunting it. It's the looking for the publicity. He knows he's going to get shut down. He's doing it for the publicity, in my opinion. Officially, rants over for this Thursday edition of the Eric Zane Show Podcast. But I have more to talk about. I have some fun things that I have to get to coming up next. But first, Riverbend Body Shop. I love them at Riverbend Body Shop. Online at riverbendbodyshop.com. When you go there for service, please mention the Eric Zane Show podcast. Actually, they're up for renewal right now. And there's a little negotiation going on behind the scenes. And I'm like, come on, man, let's do it. Let's keep doing it. We've had nothing but success. Don't stop the train. Keep it going. 616-453-7795 for Riverbend Body Shop. Yeah, you can just show up there. They're essential. You can, please have a mask on. They do. And they'll give you an estimate, just the way they always have. But if you're a little skittish, they have a plan in place perfectly. You can find out more information at riverbendbodyshop.com. You can upload your pictures of your damage along with your VIN number to their online portal. You can even do it from your phone. You can just take some pictures, include the VIN number, and text them to 616-319-4830. And then that's it. Before you know it, you got an estimate. You don't have to be there at all. Thank you, Riverbend Body Shop. Okay. The other half of my Saranac shit kickers, who I'm guessing, I'm not sure where Benjamin and Kyle stand on all of my rants. The beauty is they know that what I say is just my opinion, and you can take it or leave it. They don't care, and you don't care, and I don't care, as long as you're there listening to it. And I'm asking you to call upon these shit kickers if your gun is busted, okay? BK Guns and Stuff. 616-902-2447. If you've got a piece of magnificent weaponry that needs an upgrade, they can do that. They can customize weaponry. They can repair weaponry. They can clean it. They can modify. They can build from the ground up. Oh, they do it all. Or you can just go and buy a shotgun, for God's sake, at BK Guns and Stuff. 616-902-2447. Get to their Facebook page by going to ericzaneshow.com. Click on the BK Guns and Stuff logo. Last but certainly not least for today's podcast, Green Clean Technologies. They clean the data centers, the banks, the hospitals, the big business that has that gigantic nerve center behind the glass with all those servers, man. You got to make sure that that gets cleaned each and every month. That environment needs to be dust-free. So not only if it's not dust-free, they got to clean the mechanisms inside those, did you hear me there? Inside of those hard drives. Inside of those servers. They got to make sure that it is running in tip-top form. And then they got to sanitize the room so that the dust doesn't circulate again and land in spots and the oddly charged particles that can just cook the hard drive. Don't do it. You got to call on Green Clean Technologies for your business. 989-560-7272. IT departments, data centers, banks, hospitals, they all have the same thing. Big or small, call on Green Clean Technologies. Okay. Don't forget, I've got more podcasting to give you here. Don't worry, I'm not done. But at 11 a.m., Ask Me Anything on Patreon/YouTube, open to everyone. You can get to it by just going to patreon.com/Eric Zane. And it'll be the top one rolling. It'll be a live stream just like this one if you are watching live right now. In addition, it'll be on my YouTube channel. Just search Eric Zane Show on YouTube. Ask away questions either on my Facebook post at the top of it, pinned there. In private, eric@ericzaneshow.com. Or you can leave a question during the Ask Me Anything. Leave it right on the comments. You know what? I forgot to add one piece of audio I wanted to play for you. I guess there is one more COVID-related thing. Sorry. But it's interesting. I don't know who the hell Dan Levy or Dan Levy is. I wonder if he's related to Eugene Levy. He is on a very popular show called Schitt's Creek. Everybody's raved about this show. I haven't seen shit of Schitt's Creek, but I heard a lot of people love it. This is a Hollywood type, so, the Mr. 3000th of the world aren't going to believe this, but it adds a little perspective to wearing a mask. Take a listen to what Dan Levy has to say about this.
Hi. So I've been seeing a lot of viral videos about people who are actively not wearing masks because they perceive it to be an infringement on their freedom.
First problem. I don't think anybody who listens to this who thinks that it's an infringement on their freedom is going to believe this guy because he sounds like he's way light in the loafers.
Hi. So I've been seeing a lot of viral videos about people who are actively not wearing masks because they perceive it to be an infringement on their freedom. And I suppose... in a way, I can understand the frustration of being told what to do, which is why I would like to propose a recontextualization of this whole thing. Imagine seeing it not as an infringement on your freedom, but rather the simplest, easiest act of kindness that you can do in a day, not just for yourself, but for other people who might have autoimmune issues, people who, if they were to contract COVID with those issues, might have some devastating repercussions. See it not as anyone or anything infringing on your freedom, but rather, if you have the freedom to leave your house, if you have the good health to leave your house, why not put on a mask, make it your good deed for the day, and do something nice for yourself and other people?
Yeah. I think that convinced none of the shit kickers. Not a one of those people would believe that. You know what has to happen? I don't think it ever would. You would have to have Trump, who is the leader of these fuckers, say, you got to wear a mask, and for him to wear a mask. That's the only way this would work. And I think he's making a huge mistake. And I do believe that the only reason why he's not, because he's afraid of alienating all these dumb fucks who aren't wearing a mask, because they're all going to vote for him. And as I've said before, I'm going to vote for him, but I'm fucking smart and they're fucking stupid. Why? Because I'll wear a mask. They won't.
Just a rude person you are.
You'll eat shit. Fucking wear a mask. The fuck is wrong with you? Trump needs to say wear a mask. That's the only way these morons are going to believe this. God, this room just got dark. I think the sun went in. So I'm going to turn the light on. Hang on a second. You guys get to see my balls. No, not really. Hold on. Look how skinny I look, yeah. My tits are so much smaller. Had a bad day yesterday, though. I drank 4 of those Heineken non-alcoholic beers. Not the best decision in the world because you got about 15 carbs per. So you know me, I've been fighting the fight with this low carb diet. We'll see how this weekend goes up north. Okay, I got a story about a brilliant teenager in Mississippi. This is brilliant, man. I love this. This is right. This is a PA pranks times 10. Remember the old PA pranks bit that I did? I tried to recapture it on this in this forum, but boy, man, it just is so damn time consuming. It all came rushing back about the amount of time it takes to do that. If one of you ever did the PA pranks on your own, video PA pranks, it would work. But I'm honestly, I am here now from 7 a.m. till 3 or 4 p.m. every day. That's what it's turned into. And then what else? And then the back half of the day, and that's just for doing the podcast. And then the rest of the day, I got to make calls and try to get advertisers on here. So it is just really, really consuming, time consuming. I'm not complaining, trust me. But this kid did PA pranks, and he did it awesomely. The governor of Mississippi, his name is Tate Reeves, has been going out of his way to read the names of high school seniors as they graduate. And he basically just does a live stream, and people have submitted names, and he reads them. This is, how long is this clip? This is a 32-second clip. The big reveal happens near the end of it. Pay attention.
Let's keep rolling. Aaron Javon Cannon, Blake Christian Brode, Brayden Keith Case, Brianna Manning, Brittany Neely, Cannon May Crack, Christian Andrews, DeCameron McKenzie Mays, Drew Europe, Ethan Seeley, Gavin Christopher Davis, Grayson Doss, Harry Ashcraft, Kevin Harris.
What? Did I just hear Harry Asscrack?
Well, still ahead, new research.
Yes, we did hear Harry Asscrack at the end of that.
Harry Ashcraft.
And then he realizes it, and there's a pause. Some genius sent in the name to the governor of Mississippi, Harry Asscrack.
Harry Ashcraft.
Yes! Oh, my God.
Harry Ashcraft.
All right, this isn't done. In a perfect world, he'd have a temper tantrum, the governor, but he didn't. He rolled with it. Even better, I think. Reeves offered a tip of the graduation cap to the prankster, along with another classic fake name he could honor. Governor Tate Reeves wrote, Harry's submitter has a bright future as a Simpsons writer. In 10 minutes, we'll be honoring more graduates on Facebook Live, maybe even Ben, the pride of the Dover family. Well done, Governor. Great story. I love that. Fucking Harry
Harry Ashcraft.
Yes. Fantastic. All right. Finally, let me leave you with this. I had earlier in the week a dude on by the name of Tim Mayer, who is one of the fantastic referees in the American Hockey League. And what he does for a living is actually a new sponsor. He's going to start next week. His company is called Shoreliners. And what they do is they stripe pavement for parking lots, workplaces, you name it. They're the ones who paint the ground, basically. In the discussion, when I was talking to him on a small business shout-out, I said, hey, I'm looking at some of the work you did, and I see a one-way with a big arrow going down an aisle. Have you ever screwed up and had the arrow going the wrong way? And he's classic. He laughed his ass off. He goes, Zaner, because that's what hockey players call me. Zaner, even though he's a ref. I've misspelled words, man. He's actually done that. And I'm like, oh, my God, what a fucking dummy. How the fuck can you misspell a small word on the cement? It happened. 2 days later, Luzerne County, Wilkes-Barre, Scranton, PA. I might have one or two of you from that area that listened to this show from back in the day, old 97.9X. Some dumb shit who was doing what Mayor does for a living. Instead of, it was an arrow to the right. In the right lane, you can only turn right. So it's an arrow to the right, and then the word only, O-N-L-Y, except the L and the N were switched. So it says only, O-L-N-Y. Oh, my God. The city is in the midst of a $450,000 repaving project, and this happened. Oh, my God. I find it sad that we had comments. I personally had over 15. I'm sure there were many more on someone making the mistake on spelling, but no comments on the condition of the road. This thing looks great. We did great work. So they're kind of rolling with it. Yep, misspelled. O-L-N-Y. I will leave that available for you to check out on In the News of EricZaneShow.com. And as always, I will link it up in the comments of this podcast. Hey, would you do me a favor? Share this podcast, would you? I'm on Facebook. You can hit the share button right here as we conclude this thing. Maybe one of your friends will see it, and we'll get another internet point. The Facebook is brought to you by Irvine's Auto Repair, Grand Rapids Hybrid. If you're on Twitter, brought to you by Blue Frost IT. Retweet this damn live Periscope. Maybe somebody else will see it. Thank you to Blue Frost. Follow on Instagram. Next Wednesday at 7 p.m., we'll have another Instagram Instant Trivia Challenge. You'll have a chance to win $10 from Little Debbie, distributed by MB Distributing Incorporated and Baldwin Ace Hardware. And that is on Instagram which, as you know, is brought to you by the Mario Flores Lakeshore team of Van Dyke Mortgage. Aha!
Just a rude person you are.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean I'm not right, fucking dummy. Tell these people to put on a mask. They'll listen to you. You're their leader. We are an hour and 25 minutes away from an Ask Me Anything. Leave it anonymously at Eric at ericzaneshow.com. I'll keep it anonymous. Any question at all. Hold on, John wants to sing here.
Word.
As well, you can leave the comments on the live stream when I do it, or at the top of my Facebook. That will be the last live thing I do before Tuesday morning. God bless the memory of the real freedom fighters who have fought for the United States of America in any conflict. God bless you and your families. They'll pay the ultimate price. Memorial Day weekend is for them. Till next time, this is the Eric Zane Show Podcast. Wear your mask and don't be a stupid fuck. I hope you enjoyed the podcast. If you didn't, go fuck yourself. Thank you. Bye-bye.